Good morning, YouTubers. It is Thanksgiving um, week. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Today is Wednesday. And I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving and all the family gatherings and festivities and whatever it is you're doing. Even if you are going to be alone, enjoy your loneliness or enjoy participation in some event or enjoy your family gathering. Whatever you do, enjoy it. But I want to speak on it. I think I'm going to call my segments Speak on It. I want to speak on the first thing up is Britney Spears. Back in 2008, Britney's father got conservatorship of her estate because she was acting erratic. Remember, she had shaved her head. Well, that same year, she had gotten a divorce from Kevin Federline. And she had, joint custody of the boys at the time. And she started to act erratic. She had hit one of the reporters or paparazzi's car with an umbrella several times. And she had shaven her head. But the report is, coming out of her camp, is that the reason she shaved her head was because Kevin had taken her to court and he had gotten sole custody of the boys. And she was, I guess upset and was going through, as she said at the, previously and currently, that she was going through postpartum depression. And, everybody got their triggers. And her trigger was her two little boys. And when Kevin was able to secure custody of the boys, well, she lost it. She started to act erratic. She shaved her head with a compilation of, or compilement of the postpartum depression, plus losing your children. And then he had limits on how many, when she should see them or when she can see them. And eventually she lost custody to Kevin. She couldn't see the boys at all. And that was in the early process. Moving forward, like I said before, back in 2008, her father, Jamie, had petitioned the court for conservatorship. He wanted to be in control of her money. And he got that. The court granted it to him because he showed proof where his daughter was on drugs and she wasn't, according to her ex-husband, Kevin, she was an unfit mother. And then I guess her family backed it up because they had sole control of her money. And it was revealed recently where Britney said her father was not smart enough to come up with the idea of conservatorship. Britney said that idea came from her mother. And we saw her mother all these years on television just smiling and, just the, the nice little Southern belle wife, but she was, according to Britney, allegedly, she was the instrumental factor. She was the engine, the driving force behind the conservatorship. Because according to Britney, she is the one who pushed her husband and suggested that her husband go petition the court. So Britney said it has been 13 years that she has been in this conservatorship predicament. She said it was so bad And, you know, kudos to Britney Spears. Because a lot of times we see these rich celebrities and we don't know the hell they're going through just to maintain, you know. I'm thinking, okay, she's on a conservatorship according to her father, Jamie Spears. He said it was done to protect the wealth, to protect the money, so that she won't squander it and the boys would have something later on in life. But we see these, you know, these celebrities just, you know, with their huge houses and beautiful cars and boats and yachts and everything else. But we don't know, some of them are going through hell. So Britney said she was forced to take drugs when she didn't want to take drugs. Because a lot of times, you know, when you're under psychiatric treatment, they will force you to take the drugs because they know if you don't take it, then you go off the deep end. So she's saying that she was forced to take drugs. They kept her drugged up, in other words. She said her current boyfriend and her want to get married. And they have been wanting to get married for a couple of years. Under the conservatorship, her father not only controls the money, her father controls her entire life. She cannot eat, sleep, spit without asking him. She can't even buy a menstrual pad without asking him. That's how bad it is. Down to the color of her kitchen cabinets. Could not, you know, it had to go through him. Can you imagine? It's like you're raising a child and you tell the child when to eat, when to sleep, when to get up, when to bathe, when to wash. No, you can't eat that, you can't eat that, you can't go here, you can't go there. That's exactly what her life has been for 13 years. She said she has a birth control device in her, probably an IUD. She says it's, or it could be one of those implants under the skin to control birth. She said for the past couple of years, she and her boyfriend has been wanting to have a child. And her father said, nope, you cannot have any children. And nope, you cannot take that device out. They wanted to get married. Dad said, nope, you cannot get married. Under the conservatorship, she can't get married. She can't have children. She cannot take that device out of her own body. She also said there were times she would go on tour that she didn't want to tour. She didn't want to do anything but relax. And she was forced to get out there and sing and perform. Because the management team that her dad hired told her if she did not perform, they would sue her and take her, you know, most of her money. So she didn't want to lose her money, so she would get out there and perform. She
Allegedly.
had a Las Vegas residency for, I think, 5 years. And as far as I know, the shows were great. But she didn't always want to do the performance. You know, when you go on tour, some of these entertainers, they go on tour, they book, you know, Europe or wherever, and then they cancel if they get a cold or sick or whatever. You know, they're not in the framework or the mindset to go perform. They would cancel. She couldn't do that. She had to perform when her dad said perform. He was pulling all the strings and she was the puppet. Can you imagine living under such conditions that your life was not your life? Your life was over pretty much. And I know a lot of people would probably, they probably would end their life You know, a lot of these entertainers, they would end their lives. So I gotta give it up to Britney Spears. She got a lot of strength. She got a lot of strength to go through what she did for all those years. Now the latest thing is her lawyer, she told her lawyer that her bedroom was bugged. Her father placed a listening device in her bedroom and in several parts of the home just to hear what she was saying. Allegedly. Who was she speaking to? What would she say over the phone to certain people? Now, I'm thinking to myself, if he is capable of bugging her home just to overhear conversations, then he's capable probably of putting a camera in there just to see what she's doing. And that is sick. I mean, how far can you go? You know, enough is enough. That is a sickness. Then when you're spying on your child. Now, her father's salary, it was reported, $16,000 a month. Britney's salary, you know, he would give her an allowance. Can you imagine? You are the breadwinner, the sole person providing for all these people. Your dad, the lawyers involved, and it is just, I think it is just so sad that she had to live through, you know, you hear of modern day tragedies, and I'm so surprised, and I'm very, very happy at the same time. I'm surprised she didn't take her life because of the circumstances she was put under, and I'm happy she didn't, right? So I'm saying two things in a nutshell. She also said for those 13 years, she could not drive. She had a car, but couldn't drive it. Someone else had to drive her car. There were times when she would be on lockdown in her own home. They would get nurses around the clock to be there, and she couldn't go anywhere. So she was like a prisoner in her home. And her family are the ones who orchestrated everything. So when I think she was asked if she was going to see her mother and dad for the holiday, or her mom, she said no. She has no interest in seeing her family for the holiday. Because not only her dad did her wrong, right? Not only her dad took over sole custody of her life, but also her mom was the one who suggested the conservatorship, according to Britney, to the dad. And all of them were making money. Britney was getting, how much did she say, $2,000 a week, right? And her father, which was like $8,000 for the month. Her father's he was getting, he paid himself a salary, and he was getting like double. So she was performing and they were reaping the benefits. So her net worth, they said, is about $60 million. All the money that she made was invested in real estate, in different organizations and different businesses. But she's worth $60 million. But it said the $60 million is not cash. Cash is only a little below $3 million. Can you imagine working your ASS all those years and all you got is under $3 million cash? And the businesses where the money is invested, the 50-something million is invested in these businesses. We don't know if the businesses is under her name. Because remember, for 13 years while she was under family's arrest. I call it family's arrest because the family pretty much had her in jail. Okay? While she was under that type of manipulation and just being, you know, pretty much it was like a jail. We don't know if she even know of all the businesses where her money is, because they weren't telling her anything. She wasn't part of these business deals. So all her money pretty much is tied up in all these businesses that her dad invested in. Allegedly. And this is why this saga, this case, is ongoing, although a week ago the court stated and ordered the father to be removed as conservatorship, because Britney testified that she's afraid of her father. The relationship is very toxic, and he has controlled her life for 13 years, and it's horrible. It's like a horror movie. And the court heard her plea for the first time in a long time. They removed the father as the conservator of Britney, but they appointed another conservator to fill that shoe temporarily until they go back to court and, you know, everybody's removed from being a conservator in her life. Because at this point, Britney Spears is how old? How old is this child? And you want to tell me that she can't control her life? I saw her talking on TV. And she has some semblance of sense. She can dress herself. She can eat by herself. She can go and, you know, do things for herself around town. If she is good enough, as far as I'm concerned, if she's good enough to get on stage and perform and bring in all these millions to pay everybody else around her, then she's good enough to not have a conservatorship. Somebody controlling her and her money. So this case is far from over. She has implicated not only her mom, her dad, but her sister. Her little sister, Jamie Lee, has been implicated because they said on one of the award shows, Britney was sitting in the audience and they were kind of playing her songs and doing like a tribute, and her little sister came out singing one of her songs. Britney's right in the audience. How come they couldn't tell her to come and do the song? And then since her little sister was a kid, she's always said she was going to be bigger than Britney, and she was going to replace Britney. And so everybody was saying there was always jealousy with the sister. You know, she was always jealous of the height of the celebrity status that Britney had elevated herself to. And then also, Britney said that her sister was, her dad made her sister, made her control a part of the conservatorship, because it was a two-part, apparently it's broken down into parts, this conservatorship, and his part was to control the finance, and her sister's part, if anything happened to Britney, then there was a separate doctrine that stated that if anything happened to Britney, then the sister would be responsible for the boys and the money for the boys. And so the sister is implicated in all this, all these arrangements, excluding Britney, so they all can have some piece of the pie. So this story, it is like it is still unraveling, because Britney's lawyer is planning to take the father to court for accountability of where her money is. Because I saw Wendy Williams where one of the people within the circle, the dad circle, got on Wendy and said that, oh, she has more money now than 13 years ago. The father made sure that she has 60 million, and she didn't have 60 million before. She was in debt before. Now she's not in debt. But the real question is, whose name are all these properties in? This $60 million that they claim that she has, where is the money for the properties? In other words, what I'm trying to say, whose name the properties are under? Is it the father's name, the mother's name, the sister's name, or all of the above? Allegedly. Maybe it's split up into different people's names. But we will find out. Now, when Kevin Federline gained sole custody, her family didn't speak out and said, this is our daughter. And although she has a mental breakdown, she still should have some type of visitational rights with the boys. And Kevin Federline was always saying that, oh, she's an unfit mother, she drinks a lot, she's a druggie, she's got mental issues. Allegedly. And he said all these things in court to gain custody of the boys. And after he gained custody of the boys, then he started with upping the amount of money he can have monthly. And it was reported that he did not want joint custody or Britney to have any custody of the boys, because he wanted the money. He wanted her to send more money monthly. And every couple of years he would try to get more money. So Britney, a week ago, came out and she said, well, when she testified in court, she said, if her father continues to be her conservator, she would never perform again. That's how bad it was. And I don't blame her, because this man was just, I don't want to say taking advantage of his daughter, because, the records will show whether or not he was taking advantage. But to me, her constitutional rights were violated. Was definitely not violated. And they say a lot of people that we would be surprised to know these people are under conservatorship. A lot of these wealthy kids who have some type of mental issue are under conservatorship. People controlling their every move, their lives, their whereabouts. So the conservatorship, I was looking at what it means to have a conservatorship, and it means that for Britney, the conservatorship was created to protect her estate and the financial future of her children. At the time, Britney's father, Jamie Spear, and her attorney, Andrew Walters, were assigned as conservators. So we are praying for Britney. She has gotten rid of her father as conservator. Now she has to get rid of the temporary conservator appointed by the court. Now here is Britney thanking everyone who has supported her.
Okay, so I'm here today to answer all of your guys' questions, and the first main question that you guys have been asking me is, what am I going to do now that the conservatorship's over with? Very good question. Well, let's see, I've been in the conservatorship for 13 years. It's a really long time to be in a situation you don't want to be in. So I'm just grateful, honestly, for each day and being able to have the keys to my car and being able to be independent and feel like a woman and owning an ATM card, seeing cash for the first time, being able to buy candles. It's the little things for us women, but it makes a huge difference. And I'm grateful for that, you know. It's nice. It's really nice. But I'm not here to be a victim. I lived with victims my whole life as a child. That's why I got out of my house, and I worked for 20 years and worked my ass off. I'm here to be an advocate for people with real disabilities and real illnesses. I'm a very strong woman, so I can only imagine what the system has done to those people. So hopefully my little story, will make an impact and make some changes in the corrupt system. And the Free Britney movement, you guys rock. Honestly, my voice was muted and threatened for so long, and I wasn't able to speak up or say anything, and because of you guys and the awareness of kind of knowing what was going on and delivering that news to the public for so long, you gave it awareness to all of them. And because of you, I honestly think you guys saved my life in a way, 100%. And I know there's a lot of jokes about the Free Britney movement. We're not free, we're expensive. Okay, birdies, I'm expensive too. But anyways, with that said, let's move forward. God bless you all. We're going to have a good year, a good Christmas, and rock on.
Moving on with the next story. I am speaking on it concerning Malikah Shabazz, Malcolm X's youngest daughter. She was a twin, and the twins were the youngest of all the children. Now, Malikah, she was found by her daughter, the New York City Police Department reported, on Monday, November the 22nd, just before 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, at her Brooklyn apartment. She was found dead. The cause of death was ruled to be natural. She died at the age of 56 years old. She and her sister are the youngest children of Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz. Malikah's death came 2 days after two men were exonerated for the death, the execution of her father. Their exoneration was 2 days ago by the city of New York after nearly 2 years of investigation. So my condolences to the family, and may Malikah rest in peace. Moving on to the final story. Moving on to the next person. Amari, DJ, Mona Lisa is in the news. This is what's on the blogs currently. I didn't see the segment, but someone who looks at her show was telling me that she and Destiny fought. They were fighting. And Amari pulled her hair, or tugged at her hair. They were, when I say fighting, they were verbally fighting, and I guess physically also, verbally and physically, because she had tugged on Destiny's hair. You know, when you're fighting and you pull a person's hair. And as I understand, Destiny had since apologized to her mother. But I noticed there are times when Destiny goes off, she has She has no filter on her mouth, first of all. If you say A, she say B. You say C, she say D. It's a tit for tat. She's 18 and she, you know, when you turn 18 and you start smelling yourself, you feel as though you're a grown woman. Nobody can tell you anything. That's what I see in Destiny. You know, she feels that she is grown. She's 18 and her mother can't tell her nothing. And if her mother dares to open her mouth and say anything to her, she has an answer. She got a band-aid for that sore. But Miss Destiny, this is how I feel. You have a right to speak anytime you want to speak. And voice your opinion on any subject. Because it's a free country. And you're 18 and you are an adult. However, you're under your mother's roof. And when you're under somebody's roof, you can't say X, Y, and Z to them unless you're living on your own. If you want to fight your mother and cuss your mother out and give her back talk, because that's what we call back talk in Guyana. And when you back talk your parents in Guyana, you know what you get? You get one big slap right across your face and 4 and 5 teeth knock out your mouth. Okay? You don't back talk your parents and still think you're gonna be alive to tell the tale. Because I see where Destiny, I know she loves her mother. I know that. She has a lot of compassion for her mom. She loves her mom. But she got a mouth that don't have filter on it. If Amari says A, Destiny says B. And she, as fast as Amari is talking, Destiny is talking. You know, it's tit for tat, tit for tat. So, what I gotta say on that, because I was talking, my friend was telling me, I didn't see the episode. What I gotta say on that is, Destiny, you are lucky you are not in Jamaica. Because, honey, your little red behind would have been wheeled up in all kind of marks, okay? You would have gotten a beating of a lifetime for all that back chat that you like to do. But you're here in America, and the law says you are an adult. And your mother can't put her hand on you. But guess what? She can kick you out of the house. If you're a woman enough to backtalk your mother and fight your mother, then you need your own apartment. You need your own place. So whenever you're ready to tell her off, you got someplace else to go and sleep. Because two women cannot share the same space, the same house. You telling her off and back talking her and cussing her out, and you expect to go curl up in your room under her roof. Oh, no, honey. It don't work that way. It does not work that way. Your mother is compassionate to still have you under her roof. You apologize, but if it was me, honey, I would have had your bags packed. Pronto. You know that's my favorite word. Pronto. Your bags would have been packed and your little yellow ass would have been out the door. And if you didn't want to go, I would have called the cops to remove you. Because you're 18 and she can kick your ass out. You're not underage that you can tell her off and still be in the house like the twins. You are 18 and you gotta smell the coffee or smell the flowers or the roses or whatever the hell how the saying goes. Okay? You gotta wake up, my dear. You cannot think that this is how you are gonna live under your mother's roof and tell her off I know Amari likes to call it a television series. Yes, it's a series. But what are you teaching the young children out there, Amari? That they can backtalk their parent, fight their parent, and still live under your roof? No, the protocol and the course of action here should have been, as she was backtalking you and fighting you and want a tit for tat, you say A, she say B, you should have been in her room and folding up clothes, not even folding up, just pushing them in the suitcase. So by the time the argument was over and the fight was over, her suitcase should have been packed. Outside the door, on the lawn, and you should have been asking her to leave your house. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. As you can tell, I don't play. I do not play. I don't have no sympathy for anybody who think they are a grown adult and can woman up to me. If you're woman enough to fight me and tell me off, then you're woman enough to go out there in the world and handle your business. YouTube family, that is my 2 cents on Malikah, Shabazz, Britney Spears, and Amari, DJ, Mona Lisa. You guys have a good day. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Drop the comment below. Give me a thumbs up by pressing that red subscribe button on the YouTube page before you leave. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.